Hi everyone, I'm Sarah, Childhood Finds, if you haven't joined me here before, and today I'm going to be doing a what sold into two parts like I typically do, and it's been almost 3 weeks since I did the what sold, so I do have a lot of items. I will say my sales have been good, and surprisingly, since a lot of times summer's a little quieter because people are doing things, and sales have been pretty good. But what I have been doing, I changed two things. I'm now passing along any sort of discount I'm getting onto the buyer on my shipping. That might not help anymore after the new shipping goes into effect with the Parcel Select Ground and first class mail joining together. But for priority, I think it's making a huge difference, especially for people near me. It's super affordable. And then I do also have, I'm also taking a lot more offers. And I'm taking offers that typically I would go, maybe not, but I'm taking them. And what's fueling that is I have to move in a month and a half, and the less I have to move, the better right now. So I am taking a ton of offers, and I am countering pretty much all offers. But as long as I'm making somewhat a decent profit on something, I am going to take the offer. And I think that's really helping. So I have a lot of items to share. I'm going to try to go quickly and try to rumble through everything. So let's go ahead and get going. Okay, so the first one we're going to start with is a nice sale. It's a very pretty piece, and it is a signed Judy Lee baby ice blue rhinestone silver tone clamper bracelet, and it sold. I took a best offer for $45. I have probably about $5 into this. I got it at an estate sale nearby, and I am super happy with the sale. It is very pretty. No stones were missing, and so I'm excited to keep finding a couple good jewelry pieces now that I've kind of branched out into jewelry this year. This is an antique Tennyson Poems leather-bound book, Donahue and Co., Gilded Edges. So I do not have a year on this, but in regards to other parts of the book and what I was finding, I was confident in calling it an antique, and there was no others like it. I did take a best offer for $20 very, very quickly, and the reason I took it is I thought it was fair. And I know that technically this is rare and you can't find it, but most of the ones in this kind of age range and look and condition were selling around here, so I was really happy with a fast sale for this guy. I think I have $1 into this. This is Nevada Place Names, a Geographical Dictionary, Toponymy by Helen S. Carlson. It was done in 1974 at the University of Nevada, Reno. And strong PSA, guys, don't call us Nevada. I'm only saying that because you'll never ever hear someone that's born in Nevada calling it Nevada. And but besides the point, I just picked this up for $1 because it was interesting, and it actually sold in, a couple weeks, I think. So I'm always picking up these kind of interesting books that I've never seen before and have a specific topic. So I knew someone would like this, and they did. $15 is $15. And this I showed in a haul video a little while back, and it's a Lantern Press 1,000 piece jigsaw puzzle, and it's cheese. It's just Tillamook cheese. It's brand new, and it sold for $30. I can't remember exactly what I paid for it. I think five. And it sold quick, really quickly from listing it. I think maybe a week after. So I was happy with that. I couldn't find this puzzle anywhere, so I just priced it kind of mid to high on the other puzzles that were selling based on content. People like cheese. I knew this would sell for more than some of the other ones that were, forest scenes, etc. This is a vintage clamshell seashell brass hinged trinket box coin purse. I always pick these up when I see them. They always sell relatively quickly. I think we have $2 into this, so not a massive profit, but you'll find these pretty frequently. And I see if I can show you. There it is, just opened up. So it really is just a seashell. that they made into a little trinket box. And so I always grab those. This is Gem New York 150 Culinary Destinations for Food Lovers. And it is double signed. And I picked this up at a thrift store for $2. And I do always suggest look for those signatures because they didn't know. I just happened, they had it propped up on top of, all the bookcases. And I just saw a little hint of writing inside. And it looked like fancy writing. So I looked in and it was signed and it had two different signatures, or it was double signed, and it sold for $50, and I think it maybe took a couple weeks to sell. Oh, great. You guys could hear my dog itching next to me. Opie, we're on scene. Thank you. Good boy. Okay. And so definitely look for those signatures. You'll find them relatively frequently at thrift stores. This is going to be a vintage 1993 Slim Zippo lighter, and it's turquoise color inlay, Southwest style, as is, because, when I looked at it, I don't want to say this, but it looked kind of cheap how the inlay was done. So I took a bunch of pictures of the sides and just made it very clear of what it looked like. And I always say, I showed a video of what it did when I tried to turn it on. So I just make it very clear all of the conditions of this so they know exactly what they're getting. And I got it sold for $70. We paid $6 for this. My fiance picked this one up, and I don't know, maybe a couple weeks to sell. This is an antique silver pewter tone swing swivel photo frame. And I've sold another swivel frame kind of like this before that was an oval that sold for good money. This one I took a best offer of $30. My mother-in-law picked this up at a sale for $2. It was basically one of our last sales of the day, so it had been sitting there for a long time. So 2 into 30, and it was an easy packer. It worked into the skinnier priority box, the one that has the 3.25 inch thickness. Worked really well for this frame, and it made it safely. This is an original Polish pottery Bolslovic Ceramica handmade. It's a little piggy bank, and it's just cute. I had this for quite a while. I picked this up at a thrift store for $3, and I took a best offer of $15, so not a huge profit. It did take, I don't know, at least 9 or 10 months to sell, but I'll still take it. It was adorable. It was like 4 inches, so it was very easy to pack. More My Little Ponies. I've sold about $250 worth of ponies from my $100 pony buy. I think I've only sold like 17 or 18 of them, and so I still have many more ponies to go, but it's nice. They're a nice little extra sale every week now that they're listed. So I am happy. A lot of my items are long tail. What that means is they take a bit to sell, and that's okay. Yes, I like having faster sales, and I do have those, but I do have ones that do take some time, and that's fine. And I took a best offer of this one for $11. It's My Little Pony Generation 3 Aloha Pearl with Baby Bella Luna, Toys R Us exclusive. A lot of times what I did with these ponies is I did know all their names because they're written on the bags in the bulk purchase, is I would just go and look up the pony, and then I would try to find a new one. And when I found the new one, I could see what was included. So that's how I found out these two actually went together. I've made a couple lots of ones that don't technically go together, but these two actually went together in a packaging. So that's what I'll do sometimes to help me find a little more information. And here's just one more. It's a My Little Pony Star Catcher Generation 3 Pegasus brush tiara, all the extras, and it sold for full asking price. And these are super easy packs. So I bought a bulk size of 6x6x6 boxes, I think. So I just throw that in there with a little bit of padding, and it's been working really well. This we picked up at a yard sale for 75 cents, and it sold incredibly fast from listing, but I did price it. So there was none that were used. So mine was in great condition, but other ones had tags or boxes. So I priced it a bit under the one that just had a little bit of a little tiny hang tag on it, and it sold incredibly fast within the day. So at the Disney Parks Victorian Mickey Minnie Mouse Singing Carols Christmas ornament, and sold for the $17. If you've watched my videos before, you probably remember the name Velda Morby, and it's an original Velda Morby oil painting in frame, and it's vintage Nevada art, and it's named Geranium, so she puts the names on the back on a lot of these. And yeah, sold for $150 and is not going to Nevada. I always find that interesting. So my thought is someone probably moved and remembers this artist. This is going to be The Desert People, a portfolio of Nevada Indians, and put together by Robert Caples. It was from 1970. They printed it at the University of Nevada, Reno. And what I put in the read description part is just that the portfolio kind of stunk. Okay, I shouldn't say it like that. It did stink. It was just in a little rougher condition. It did have some water staining, but none of that affected the contents inside. So everything was good inside. It was just the portfolio looked a little rough. And so I just made a disclaimer about that. And this was a limited edition. I don't remember exactly what it was. Here's a couple of the pictures if you're interested. They're very nice pieces. And let's see if we can zoom in to see the edition. So it was out of 500 of them. And we picked this up a long time ago, and it took me a long time to list it. So I think within listing, I'm looking at maybe 4 or 5 months of listing, but we've had it for a couple years at an estate sale. I don't know how much we paid for it, but I know it probably wasn't more than $5 or $10, or I would have remembered, because I'm a cheap human at heart. And this is a Starbucks Been There Series Connecticut State USA coffee mug. And these typically are long tail, but this guy sold really fast. I paid 50 cents for it. I priced it right at the lower end of the market. So that's what I tend to do with pricing on things that are a little bit overloaded with items. So if there's a lot of them listed and the sell-through isn't amazing, I will price right at the lower end or a bit under. Otherwise, I always try to maintain the price integrity, and I don't like to undercut because that hurts all of us, at least in my view. I absolutely support other people's business models. I understand the I'm not a storage facility thing, but if it's something that sells through pretty decently or is harder to find, I will price at the medium or so range, sometimes a little higher based on condition. But this guy, there was a fair amount listed, so I just priced it. It was either right in conjunction with the lowest, but I have the shipping offer where people close to me especially get a big discount. So I've noticed that helping as well, is because I'm passing along my shipping discount, I'm getting more sales closer to me as well. And so I think that helped with the price. This has been listed for probably 11 months, 10, 11 months. And I just have a few. I got a big stack. We bought a big stack of duck stamps at a garage sale for $5 each. And then my mother-in-law gave me a big stack. And so I just continue to sell them every once in a while. I sold a lot of them in the beginning, but now I just kind of have the stragglers left. This is the 1998 to 1989 Federal Duck Stamp print with Daniel Smith. It's signed, it's numbered, it's Snow Goose. There's a Snow Goose. So they are cool, the duck stamps, and it does have the stamp included as well. And this was out of 22,000, so it was a big run. So hence why it only went for, I took a best offer of 23. So this one I either have $5 into or nothing into, depending on who I got it from. I don't remember. And this is just A Clash of Kings by George R.R. Martin, 1999. This is not a first edition, first printing by any means. It is, I think, just, let me see, a book club edition. Yeah. So likely just a nice little book club edition. And the cover kind of stinks. There's a big rip through the cover, and they used tape to seal it up. Just regular little, like, Scotch tape. Or is it Scotch tape? The clear tape that if they try to pull that off, it's going to ruin it. And so I mean, I took 15 for this, so I'm happy with that. That's a good price. If it was in great condition, I definitely would have got more. This has been listed forever. So probably at least 2 years. And it's Cartagena, the skateboard game with all pieces and instructions. Great condition. I don't ever write that in titles, so that's how I also know it's old too. And this picture sucks. It does. But it's sold. I got a best offer of $25, and I took that so fast that their head probably spun when they got the exception. And I know that it was worth decent money when I picked it up. I think I just ended up pricing it too high, and then it just stayed too high, and it just sat, and I've just periodically been marking down, but not enough. So 25 was fantastic, and it's out. So I know I should go back and retake pictures of my old listings that don't look good, but I'm still kind of the mind they'll just sell their way through, and I can just keep doing good pictures besides clothing. Those are just acceptable pictures, I think, in my eyes. And eventually I want to get a clothing setup made because I've been doing more, so I want to get a proper setup made for pictures. But I just wait for them to sell through all these bad pictures, and it's working relatively. There's another bad one, I think, in the next video. And this is a Bee Gees first vinyl from 1967. It was in very good condition, cover and the record. And I took a best offer of $12. I paid $1 for this, roughly. Anchor Blue men's jeans, 38 by 32 vintage Y2K. They sold for full asking of $35. I believe I have $2 into these from my local thrift store. They do a sale. When they do they do like a $2 jean sale, and that's when I'll go and like pile up. And I was really happy with 35. These probably took a couple months to sell. This is a vintage Pyrex large 2.5 quart snowflake casserole, 045. It doesn't have a lid, and I paid about $1 for this in a little bulk buy at a sale, and it sold for full asking of $20. Not a huge profit, but works for me. This is a Fisher Price 1999 Veggie Tales Larry Boy plush. It was working, and it had little rumor weed. Rumor weed is an evildoer right here on the side was still connected. So a lot of times when you find this one particularly, he does not have any of his evildoers. There's another one that he doesn't have included. And I bought this at the Goodwill for $3.99. It was sitting on a bottom shelf, and I always pick up Veggie Tales. I would absolutely be happy to pick up again. Sold for $48, and it was cool. He like shot out his things. I took a video of everything as well. I really love the video aspect. I really think it's helping sell my items because you can just show all of the features and people really know what they're buying. And this is just a cast iron lighthouse doorstop, beach house, nautical, ocean decor, and it's Moby Dick Specialties, I believe, is what the sticker was. Yeah. Well, that's nice and blurry. Oh, look how nice that is. And I always pick up these. They're not like the antique ones that are worth a ton of money, but I always pick them up because they typically always sell for me. And especially if I send them ground shipping, it's usually pretty affordable, and so I pick them up. This is a Lord of the Rings talking Smeagol plush figure, and I made it very clear there is no voice box. It is missing. So a bunch of these came into a thrift store that I am near, and all of the voice boxes were zipped out. Like, there's a zipper, and you undo the zipper, and all the voice boxes were gone. So I still picked up a few of them. I didn't pick up all of them because I wasn't positive how they would sell without the voice box. If I had the voice box, they would have been a home run. But I paid $2.99 for this, and I believe I have 2 more of them still to sell. And, I mean, Lord of the Rings is one of my favorite things in the whole wide world, so of course I had to pick it up. And, you know, I just wish it had the voice box, but still $22 is a nice price for it. This is an antique Victorian deep well frame, gold gilt inner rim. I took a best offer of 18. It is small, very petite. I think it was it was roughly a 4x6, a little bit more than that, and it looks like it's been through some stuff. So $18 was a great price for it because it was rough condition, really rough condition. I believe we have $3 into this. We did a slightly bulk purchase of frames at a sale, and we paid up slightly for the frames because we did know, we knew we'd make money. I mean, we weren't paying up crazy amounts, but we also made a connection. So I gave her my number because she said she had more frames. So we paid up a little more so that we could get some more frames. And some of them are the ones we like to keep, like the pie crust and bat wings. So, well, I keep hoping she'll call. I haven't heard from her yet, but it may take some time for her to go through stuff. Because she said she was a past antique dealer and was continuing to downsize. So this is a Fenton Cabbage Rose, dusty light pink ruffled base, handled glass bell with sticker. I took a best offer at 12 because I just want this darn thing gone. I mean, it's been probably listed 9 or 10 months, and I know we have about $1 into this, I think, and I don't want to move it back. Any breakables I can get out of here before I have to move in a month, I will happily take right now. This is an Angry Birds. If you've watched my channel, you know I bought a little bulk lot of Angry Bird plush, and they have been very good to me. And so this is Bubbles, and this one doesn't have sound, and it doesn't have sound at all. So I mean, it doesn't even have the little presser on, because typically they have a little presser on their head. This one didn't even have that, but it sold incredibly quickly for $30. It had to see the doctor, my mother-in-law, to get a little fixed. He just needed a little stitch, and he was all better. So he sold for full asking price, and I have $1 into him. This is a damaged box, Barbie Signature Inspiring Women series, Maya Angelou, and it sold for full asking price. And I put damaged box first because there was a lot of places that were less than desirable. So if someone's looking for this to display, it may not be the one. And so there's a damage, and there's more in the other pictures, but up at top there is tape on it, and it wasn't in perfect condition. The doll's, of course, in perfect condition, but the box wasn't. I paid $2 for this at a yard sale, and I priced it in between new and used. So I still, so I just kind of went in between those two prices and found a good little medium, and it sold in a week or two. These have been listed probably about 9 months, so I did take a best offer for these penguins for $45. And they were a vintage heavyweight brass penguin figures set of 2, mom and baby. And I believe we have $5 into these because they also, I think, sat in the death pile for a little bit, if I remember right. I'm not sure. But I was happy with $45. I thought that was great. I can show you their sizing. So we can see we've got like about a 10, an 8-inch roughly. So I think they're adorable, but I was happy with $45. And less I have to move. Oh, this kept moving. And this is on Poshmark. So my Poshmark and Mercari sales, I'm not showing you very many, but I've had a decent amount. By decent, I mean a few a week, which is good. My goal is to where I can have one a day on each platform on Poshmark and Mercari. That would be excellent to have. So a few a week is great. That little extra money really makes a difference. So that's why I continue to do it. And let's see. So this is 4 yards of cotton fabric, and it's Jack Skellington Nightmare Before Christmas. I paid too much for these, but I still made a profit. I paid $2 a piece, so $8, and I sold it for $28. And I think after the fees, it's around 24-ish, a little less than I'm getting. So I'm still happy with the profit, but it definitely is less than I would have typically liked. But it was an easy packer. So that'll always help the blow a little. And this is a 1988 Fisher-Price Puff-A-Lump. And it is a mouse, bear. I think it's a mouse, but I did put bear in there too with a rattle. I always put if it has a rattle in it, and I did put as is in read because there is a fair amount of condition issues with it. So like oh, you can't, it's not like eBay where I can zoom in easily for you, but there's pen stains, there's a bit of the eyebrow missing, and so it was just less than desirable. The tag kind of, it was completely faded, but it's still sold for full asking of $30, and I think I have 25 to 50 cents into this guy. So that is my first round of sales. I hope you enjoyed these. Please put, like, comment, subscribe if you haven't. I'm very appreciative of all my new subscribers. I am getting towards that 1,000 goal. I'm over halfway there, so it's very exciting. So thank you to everyone, and please put in the comments. My favorite thing to always say during the What Solds is I love to hear what your best sale or favorite sale of the last couple weeks has been. So it doesn't need to be the biggest money, but something you enjoy selling. Please just share that in the comments. I love to hear that and talk with you. So please join me if you are watching this now. On Premiere, the next day I always try to post the second one, but please join me for this part 2.